This week, we're doing brisket, just like I like my women. Hot and fast, baby.
How you doing?
Like I said, we're gonna take this beautiful prime brisket that we have, and we're gonna do something crazy. We're gonna cook it at 400 degrees. That's right, 400 degrees, hot and fast. We wanna see, can we get the same kind of quality brisket that we would normally get doing slow and low? So let's give it a shot. In the meantime, hit subscribe on the channel. Hit notifications, get notified when we got a new video coming out, all right? It's really important. Also, give me a thumbs up and a comment. Tell me what you think down below. Now, let's get to work on this brisket. All right, we got our brisket out of the package, but before we go and prep that, let's get the charcoal lit so it heats up while we're preparing our biscuit. Today, I'm gonna use the super premium. We're doing super hot, super fast. We're going with super premium. This cook's gonna be super, I think. You wanna know why they call it super premium? Let's see. I'm just gonna reach in. This is why they call it super premium. Look at the size of these things. It's a whole bag full of them. They just get bigger and bigger. Amazing. Now, I didn't fill it all the way up yet because I want to put a couple smoking chunks in there. I want to get some good smoke, and I'm addicted to these bourbon barrel blocks, man. Smoky bourbon, it's amazing. So I'm going to place it right around kind of where the fire is going to be, where I know that charcoal is going to be lit good. I'm going to place a bunch of them because I want a bunch of this smoke in there. Now, when you have a brisket this nice, you have to treat it with respect. So we're going to clean it up nice, which means we're going to take this fat off of here. We're going to take the silver skin off. We're going to flip it over and cut all the hard fat off that won't render down. You don't want that, it's gross. All right, now this is nice. It's got a nice fat cap. You want to leave about you want to trim it, but you want to leave about 1/4 of an inch of a fat cap. So let's get an idea where we're trimming to and trim this off. I'm going to round the corners, make it nice and aerodynamic. This way the smoke will roll over it and not get all caught up. We want to make it nice, even, convection style cooking. This is the part that hurts about cooking a brisket. Look at all of that fat we trimmed off. This was a 12.5, almost 13-pound brisket. Let's see what we've got. 2 pounds, 15.5 ounces of fat off of one brisket. And we're not going competition style here, so if we were, we'd be cutting even more off. So as you're trimming your brisket, don't worry. It's okay, it's normal. Now, let's season her up. What do you think? 2 things going into our seasoning. 16 mesh rough ground cracked pepper and kosher salt. That's it. We're gonna go at a 50-50 mix. Got that, we just give it a little mix. We're gonna do something a little different for a binder. We're gonna use duck fat spray. You can get it on our website, it's really good stuff. My daughter said she'd give me 10 bucks if I did this. We're about to put this brisket on, but we want to keep our temperature monitored. So we're going to use our meter here. It's really simple, wireless. You can set it up on your iPad, iPhone, whatever. Simply stick this into the meat. Right around 165 is where we want to wrap it, as long as our bark is set up right. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll start cook, and we'll throw this brisket on. Our egg is up to temperature. Our brisket is seasoned. Our smoke blocks are smoking. Time to put the brisket on. Drum roll, please. So now this is a Kamado cooker, so this is where the controversy comes in. I'm cooking it fat side down. The reason being is our heat, oh boy, you know that's hot. You hear that sizzle. This is when that heat comes up from the bottom, what's gonna happen is it's gonna protect that bottom layer of meat. Otherwise you get a bottom layer of meat on this brisket that is just tough and unedible. All right, this is crazy. So we're about an hour and a half into it. The brisket's already at 170 degrees in the flat. So We're gonna take it off. We're gonna wrap it just like we would normally do our brisket. And we'll go from there, man. I don't know how this thing's gonna come out. I'm really curious to see. So let's take it off of here and wrap it up. The trick that I like to do when I wrap my briskets, because they're usually larger. So I'm gonna use 2 sheets of this stuff. Yeah, 2 of them. Okay. Lay them on top of each other, like this. Now we're gonna fold it. Just like this. Once over. Okay, we'll go a second time. All the way down. Make a nice tight seam, like that. And now look. And now we've got a double wide wrapping paper. Yeah, wrapping paper. It's like Christmas. Trusty gloves. Let's look at this baby. Ooh-wee! Look at that. Looking pretty. Let's take it off and see what we got. Last step, now that it's wrapped, we're gonna put the meter back in. We're gonna make sure it's halfway in the meat. We'll let this go now. We've only been an hour and a half into this cook, so that's crazy, but let's see how it goes. I'm curious. Just under 3.5 hours into it, this thing is already over. I stopped, we looked away for a minute, and this thing's already over. It's like 2:08, so we're gonna pull this off right now. We're gonna do our same thing. We're gonna take it off. We're gonna rest it just like we normally would. Woo! It's bubbling away in there. You should hear this thing. Our last step, we're gonna set it in here, set it in the Cambro, cover it in towels, let it rest for about an hour. It's gonna allow all the juices to reabsorb, everything to redistribute, make it super, super tender. It's an important step of the process. So even though we did it hot and fast, we still wanna do that. She's all rested, about an hour, almost an hour and a half really. I'm curious to see, I'm hoping this is good. Well, this is going to be very interesting because the bottom seems to have really gotten burnt. So let's just rip this baby open and see what we got. We're going to pretend it's Christmas morning here. Well, I mean, it looks nice. It looks really nice, but you can see the bottom is stuck to the paper a little bit. And when I say a little bit, that's being very kind. Yeah, that's some burnt paper right there. Let's flip it over and see what the bottom looks like. Well, first thing we have to do is pull the burnt paper off the bottom. I'm gonna have to cut the burnt paper off the bottom. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about before. When you cook it on a Kamado like this, that heat comes from below. So this bottom part, that is just burnt hard. All right, let's see if it jiggles. Yeah, it jiggles. Let's see how well it jiggles. It jiggled. That looks good to me. I'm blown away. I mean, I am seriously blown away. There is no way I thought this was going to come out this good. A 13-pound brisket. Now, granted, we've trimmed almost 3 pounds off. But so a 10-pound brisket in 3.5 hours? You kidding me? Smoke ring, flavor, juicy. I was expecting to pull a brick out of this egg, I'll be honest with you. And I'm really blown away. We all just tasted it, and we all said, that's actually a really good brisket. It's not just like, hey, that's good. It's good. I mean, like, good. Like, good. But, I mean, look at this. It's just flexible. I'm amazed. So Hey, you know what? You want to enter a barbecue competition? You don't have to be there all night. Just go 3.5, 4 hours early. You're all good, right? I don't think so. Listen, if you're pressed for time, crank up your temperature a little bit. Don't be afraid to cook it a little hotter and faster. Granted, it was a prime brisket to start with, so a little more marbling, a little juicier maybe to start with, but amazing results. So, hey, listen, thanks so much. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Right now, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell for notifications. Hit the like, give us a little thumbs up. This way we know you're here, and leave us a comment, okay? Thanks so much for tuning in. Get out and grill, and we'll see you next time on The FOGO Life.